Okay, so this is like attempt 100 or 1000 or whatever it is to do daily vlogs again. And I'm thinking the reason why I'm not doing it is because I'm really avoiding everything that I really care about because it's like I don't want to be a Debbie Downer and things are still the way that they are. So I'm gonna try to fix that because I have to fix that in my brain anyways. Um, Anyways, I really like how the skateboards came out. Those are the girl skateboards. I found them at Five Below and I thought they were so super cute. And I put one for Geneva, Faith, and Juliet. I had mine right there too, but I took mine down. I want to find like a cuter one or I don't know, my hair to match it. It was a girl with black hair. Anyways, so today is May, what is it? Today's May 23rd, Saturday, May 23rd, 2026, and it is officially 2,300 days since I was with my daughters, Geneva and Faith, the twins. That was before they came, and basically we did the same thing with Juliet. They came in with like out of warrant and just made a reason to like barge into my life and take my kids away, which I realize now that that sounds pretty terrifying, which it is, which is why I'm traumatized, which is why my whole like venture to be the mom of the next Olsen twins was completely derailed 2,300 days ago, or what was it, six 6 years, 9 months, and 3 days ago. Um, and so I don't know if I said this before, but I'm going to say it again because probably other people don't know it. Um, and I guess like the whole reason why I'm going over it all because one, it's so freaking crazy. Two, it's just what I'm going through in my life. And three, if it happens to people all the time, which I think that it has, I want to write a book about it and like give a survival guide type of a thing. I remember when this first happened, I went through it was they were first taken away. A week later, COVID happened and like all the legal offices shut down. So basically they they 5150'd me, which isn't good because I sound crazy. But to clarify, they arrested me with the girls. They detained me for 5150, which is like they haul you off kicking and screaming, which I was kicking and screaming because they took my daughters out of my hands to the loony bin to be evaluated to see if you are eligible to be retained in a mental facility without your consent because they deem you to be so crazy. So they did that, but immediately, as soon as I like talked to the doctor, they're like, okay, she's not crazy. She's not a danger to herself. She's not a danger to anybody else. Um, Her condition, post-traumatic stress disorder, is not like really that crazy. It's about having trauma. So they released me immediately, which was great news because that was, I remember, and I'm just going to tell you the truth, the whole truth, which, whatever, I'm not going to preempt how you're going to feel about it, but the whole truth is that when I, in 2009, in 2009, when I was in college, we tripped on LSD, like hard and a lot of LSD. Um, because why not? Like we were hippies. I was going through college. I was in major like stream of consciousness and experimentation and everything. And of course, I had like my mom on my case, my grandma on my case, my family on my case, and my best friend decided that she was oddly against my drug usage. And I say oddly because usually she was like fully supporting and having a part of. So really, I think she was just mad at me at the time. she got in an argument with me, and I had a bad trip. Like, I had a really, really, really bad trip. I was like so sick, and I've never felt like so nauseous in my life, and blah, 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 whatever. So, blah, 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 whatever. Bleh. It actually lasted probably like 3 months. I was tripping balls for like 3 months straight, like without like a day off of like just feeling cool. Um, and at that time, I didn't have kids or anything. I just had a cat. I had cats. We had two cats. At that time, my worst nightmare was like, oh my God, like they're gonna like take me to the mental hospital or something. Like the way that I feel and like the visuals that I have are like so intense that like I'm scared like I'm not gonna be able to hide it and like something bad is gonna happen and like I don't know. That was my worst nightmare. So to like flash back to present day, um, my kids that's like exactly what happened. Like it was my worst nightmare. I saw my ex at a Christmas party at the shelter that I was at and that I hadn't been with since like 2009, 2010, back then. Because we didn't break up then, but we like eventually broke up. And I had a piece of lasagna, and like the next thing that I know, like a week later, a few days later, or something like that, I was on the way to the EBT office to get EBT in a state that was not my home state, but because get, you cannot spend EBT from Texas in Virginia or EBT from Virginia in Texas, vice versa. So I just like sat up residence at the shelter that I ended up at because I was arguing with my dad, and this is becoming more long-winded than I meant it to, but that often happens. Because we got an argument and he kept calling me a prostitute whenever he would give me money to get the hotel room, which I was like Miss Sassy Pants at the time because these were my first kids, and I was like, I don't need your money anymore. You can't talk to me like that. I don't need your money. I'm gonna be fine. Like I'm gonna go into a shelter, and shelters in California are super cool, and they help you like get apartments and like all kinds of stuff. So I was like, I'll be fine. That's okay. Don't worry about the money. I don't need any money, which is 100% untrue in Virginia because in Virginia they try to take your kids away right away. So, anyways, that's what happened, and so also it was about to be Valentine's Day. I was trying to get back with my ex so that he would adopt the kids before Valentine's Day, but he decided to like try to reconcile with his ex-wife instead. Um, and so on February 4th, 2020, they detained me when I tried to leave the state. I was about an hour outside of leaving the state from the shelter that I was at, because basically I had already talked to a shelter in California and they were going to offer me like um, money for my security deposit, my first month's rent, and my utility bills. And I just decided that it was a lot smarter because of the higher wages in California. So, anyways, for that, and through recommendation of somebody at the shelter that I was at, they decided she was trying to be a cop or something, and she was like, I don't know, she was really like kind of to me, she was very eccentric, like over the top. Kind of high strung. Anyways, so she thought that I was acting strangely because I kept walking outside to walk my dog, and she made a report. And on that day, they did all of that. They retained my twins, and even though I passed the psychological evaluation at that point within like maybe an hour or two, they retained custody of my twins because at the time that um, they did the evaluation, I didn't have anybody to watch the girls, obviously, so they took the girls into custody at that point. So I was forced into handcuffs, and because I didn't have anybody to watch them, they kept them. And that was 6 years, 9 months, and 3 days ago now. So 22,300 days exactly ago. And I like I was told that at 15 months that if I was not able to have everything that I needed, which I had already gotten my employment, I had already gotten my parenting classes, and I had already gotten the therapy and everything that they wanted. Um, I wasn't able to get housing because I was still on the housing list, and I wasn't able to make enough money to like not be on the affordable housing list. And they were able, this is the important part, they were able to legally terminate my parental rights altogether and make it to where I wasn't my kid's mom anymore, allegedly. But they knew that I was trying to reverse that, and I was talking to a bunch of lawyers, but I found out recently that they actually, in 2024, the year that my third daughter was born, um, they legally adopted them, which I am not sure like what exactly happened because I wasn't, although I have been sending gifts and I have been sending videos of my daughters um like every day, every month since they were gone for the last 6 years. They haven't like reciprocated in any information. So it drives me like I'm a mom, like I love my kids, so it drives me a little bit crazy. So I'm really trying to like document it, but at the same time, like it's hard because I really don't look at the truth every day that all this had happened. I'm still at this point like trying to get a car, trying to get another car because this is like the fifth car that I've gone through during the last 6 years, and all the other ones have either been stolen, repoed, blown up, um, repoed randomly, like, and I just never saw it again. Um, like to the tow yard by the cops just randomly, like really just random stuff has happened. So, anyways, um, that's like that's every day, and like at this point, I'm just trying. I went through like a really like grieving like bout of depression and like crazy like workaholic schedule where I was working like two jobs and I was taking the bus, and I've just been like I was working myself into a zombie mode every day to just try to get as much money because I don't know how much a lawyer is going to cost. Last I got quoted was like $10,000 um, to go from California to Virginia, and in Virginia I wasn't even able to find like a CPS lawyer or anything. And at the last point that I had actually had a like visitation or custody like paperwork to file, I actually had a hearing. My the same week that I um got pregnant with Juliet, they came in and like they came from a whole nother state, and like somebody told them where my car was and they randomly repoed my car. Um, like when I had the payment like basically ready, like the next day I was gonna make the payment anyways. Um, See, that drives me a little bit crazy just to think about it. But I was 45 minutes away from the courthouse where I was going to finally file the paperwork. And from 45 minutes away from that courthouse to pregnant to on a plane back to California so that I can get an apartment. Finally got the apartment in August. Um, During that time, I haven't been able to make it back to Virginia, and they, I guess, changed their last name. So I am trying still to get a phone call back, which has not happened so far. Of course, like I went from just calling everybody in our local government to calling Australia to see if I could seek asylum in another country because I really felt like for a while that our country just like highway robbed my kids, and um, really thought that really like was charging me with like a crime not committed. Like, anyways, um, so that similar kind of similar thing. My daughter was taken, Juliet. the neighbors who had been arguing with me the whole time that I lived here in my section 8, he kind of like the guy downstairs just kind of has been playing a role like randomly to like be like kind of like the head of my household because I'm a single mom alone, which is not something that I wanted him to do or asked him to do. But he just kind of like is being a member of the community, which is like kind of been okay. But then at the same time, like I have had some friction with them and have like expressed that like I don't want that. Like I just don't want any involvement. So my solution was to like bring like other guys, like male figures over into my apartment that I do not mind their presence. So I started doing that. Anyways, so that was already kind of going sour. They decided to, one of the other neighbors like threw a party and not very many, I was like the only one there for a while and then like one or two more people showed up, which was suspicious from day one, or like from the get-go. But I did have like a couple of beers, which I never really. I've been sober for a really long time. I used to be a hardcore like drinker. I used to like drink every. I used to get sloshing drunk every weekend. No lie, with my ex-boyfriend, and it was fun, and it was like what I did back then. But I haven't done that in really years and years and years, like over 6 years. So, anyways, the neighbors decided to call 911 because I fell asleep and my daughter was on the patio. And of course, like I had half of a beer in the kitchen and I'm trying to get like proof that she wasn't crying. There wasn't tears in her eyes at the time. I wouldn't neglect my baby. Even in my sleep, I wouldn't neglect my baby like crying. But anyways, the suspicion of that was enough for the fact that I had a bong. Which I am getting like my medical marijuana license, which I've had in the past and everything. So just to like prove it. But it's anyways. So they took her away based on that, and they took me to jail on a felony, which I talked about before. So anyways, I kind of feel like that was similar, like BS that they. I didn't have to let them in the house. I should not have let them in the house. I should have exercised my right to not let them in the house, although I don't know if they would have said probable cause based on what the neighbors said, which really was just I knew that the neighbor had a problem with me already. So, anyways, it's 3 months in now, and I am just trying to do everything that they want. So, since the last vlog, I have been just like back and forth. I went to a sober living facility, which, of course, like with all of the stress, if there's any type of vice or like anything that you would have, you would definitely want to break on that vice right now. Like, I would if I wasn't like trying my hardest to get my daughter back as soon as possible, if I wasn't already on my way to get my other daughters back, I don't think that I would have had friction in the first place. Which again, like getting the car towed happened right before I was about to go to the court, which I already had the hearing. I already filed the paperwork to get custody. And now like I finally like had a job. I was stable. I had all of my therapy in order. I had all of my which I just do therapy like every week because my I actually have a good therapist for one. So anyways, um and then like my car ended up disappearing or getting repoed again or not, maybe not. I don't know. It was like anyways, the car is a mess and I don't have the car anymore. But I had my job and everything that I need to do, and then boom, like the neighbors calling me and Juliet's taken again. So, um, anyways, I am kind of like in disbelief in like dealing with that on a daily basis and trying to like think about like funny, cute like things to do on YouTube, like I really want to do. But then like this morning, like I can't believe like how swollen I can wake up with my face. I'm trying to think. I didn't eat anything like salty. I didn't. Let's say it's something a little bit salty, but I usually don't. I drink like too much soda, and that seems to like affect me a lot. Um, but so like I'm trying to like do fun stuff or whatever, but this is like all in the back of my head, and like it's really all that I think about because of course I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out because nobody calls back. I'm freaking out because um I haven't been able to send gifts in quite a while. Like I would say like that was the most detrimental thing that I don't know how I'm going to explain away, that I just lost my job and I lost everything when I was pregnant with Juliet. So I went back all the way to just like a point of like poverty when I had been sending gifts like every single month. So I don't know legally like exactly how everything's going to happen, and I don't still don't know legally why like I wasn't ever able to like call them on the phone or do any of the regular things. But I'm kind of finding that a lot of the things that you read online about like biological parents' rights are just not true. Like they like when you ask a social worker like, "Oh, hey, what about this?" They're like it's like it's in another language. I'm like, it says here, that we're supposed to be allowed, the biological mother is supposed to be allowed to have information about school and to go to medical appointments. Um, I would like to be at her appointments. She's allergic to the dog. We've been trying to get her allergy testing for the last 3 months. I myself have been like sick, barely like able to leave the house for 3 months. Um, I would like to find out about that and be there. And they just like the foster mom and the social worker are just giving me the runaround back and forth. So the lawyer has not actually been much better about that, and I just not sure like what level, like if they're I don't even know what to say. Like if I can imagine like any normal person being in my shoes, you would be like, I need an answer from one of you. Like when is the doctor's appointment? My rights are right here. But it seems that in CPS, like they literally take it to the point of, um, well, this is how we're going to do it, regardless of what the law says. If you want to file a complaint with whoever sometime in the future, like basically good luck, good effing luck. So I'm like sitting here trying not to like manifest a bunch of bad feelings between me and the people that have legal control of my children because of this situation at this point, for whatever reason. But then at the same time, like, I, none of my rights were protected. All of my rights were like violated, from no visitation to no phone calls to allowing my mom to have visitation and phone calls, who's caused a lot of problems in my life, who I tried to get a restraining order on, who now they have granted custody of my youngest daughter to my mom. And then I'm just left again here thinking, like, is this even really happening? Like, do they really take kids away from parents who are like good and, you know, provide and care for the children and give them to people that have mental health conditions that are untreated or off their medication or self-medicating with drugs, and there's nobody that even like checks this stuff. So the answer so far, if this is really happening, is yes. So then the question is this really happening? So far, she's it's been a couple of days. I don't know if she's with my mom yet, but that is what the court said. So I am, of course, trying to get my cousin to do it instead, because my cousin's like totally chill, normal person with her kids and stuff. Chill and normal in every way, except for the fact that like she hasn't wanted a relationship with me for a while because I had a like wild child reputation, which I wasn't even very wild, but because my cousin is like super like the good one and got married young and did everything right, like she got married, then like got a house and then had kids, like in that order type of a thing. So, um, yeah, I don't know. So it's been tough. Anyways, that's been tough. So that's like hopefully now off of my chest so that I can do like the daily vlog thing, because am actually trying to like get my fitness career back. I'm trying to get my Pop Pilates career back, which of course entails me doing the weight loss thing, the whole journey, and redoing the whole journey and working out and doing all that stuff. So yesterday was day 2 of not going to the gym all night like I expected to. I paid for my 24-hour fitness pass, and then in the middle of the night, it's all dark. I just like kind of become demotivated and chicken out, and I've just been dragging it out so long now that it is 6:45 a.m. But it's 6:45 a.m. on a Saturday, so I'm gonna give myself credit. Like it's 6:45 on a Saturday, and I'm going to the gym. Although it's not that good because I've been trying to go to the gym since like 2:45 a.m. last night, but I'm still gonna get there. So, anyways, that is it. That is all I'm thinking about. I'm just gonna go ahead and put a daily counter because, just for context, I remember when I was that age and I would go to have a sleepover at my grandma's and I would call SOS to my mom by 3 a.m. for her to come pick me up because I could not, absolutely not stand to be away from my mom that long. Um, and it has been 2,300 of those days so far, and we are surviving. And now I feel, I don't know if the twins are having like flashbacks, like flashback of trauma, which I'm pretty sure they do have some type of PTSD at this point, which I don't know how the doctors want to deal with that because again, they haven't included me in any of that information, and I'm not rich, so I don't have a lawyer. Um, so I don't know. Anyways, that's I don't know what we're gonna do about that, but tomorrow will be one more day and I'm still going to try to get up and I'm still going to do my journaling and I'm still going to do my workouts and I'm still going to hopefully do these vlogs. I'm sorry this one is so long. Maybe I should cut some stuff out. I don't really know because I'm still not great at that and I'm still on my phone because the whole money making process has been bad and now it's even worse because I have to pay for all these court classes. It's so far costing me like over $2,000 and unmentionable amount of like time off work money. Um, but I think that maybe some of the spirit, like I'm still spiritually sick, even though I'm not physically or mentally sick. So I may go back into residential treatment um, to try to get a handle on my spiritual well-being. Because obviously, like when you're having so much opposition in the outside world and you're still not on drugs and you're still trying to do everything right, there's something amiss in your spirit. So I'm still contemplating whether or not I'm going to do that. So I'm going to go have a workout at 24 and then kind of go from there because it's Saturday. I can't do anything till Monday anyway. So, anyways, if you made it to the end, you're really a trooper. And hopefully it's not because you're going through the same thing. But if you are going through the same thing, the most important thing is to get support. And whether it's like, I'm so bad at that because I'm antisocial, but like moms groups, AA groups, NA groups, even if you've never been addicted to anything, maybe decide to be addicted to something because those are really the only supportive people out there that are really there for you no matter where, no matter like what point of life you are in, where your family left you or whatever it is, seems to be very important now that it is my second time going through this DCFS court. I have another court date coming up. It's just the only thing that sucks is when I go into treatment, like residential treatment, it's like all balls out. So like I can't work. So like I still have a bunch of bills coming up and a bunch of things that I have to do and pay and go through all of this. And I have to do it somehow while being in treatment and not being able to make any money. So that's a tough decision. That's where I'm at right now. If you watched it, thank you. I hope somebody does watch it that's going through it just because you found the right person to go through it with you. Anyways, thank you. Have a good day. I will hopefully vlog something more cheery later or like tomorrow.